Good morning, students. This is the last part of chapter 13, Motion and Time. In this part, we will learn about the checkpoint, keywords and recall. Okay, let's start. First of all, checkpoint. State true or false. The standard or basic unit of time is hour. True or false? It is false because the standard or basic unit of time is second, not hour. Second, if an object covers equal distance in unequal interval of time, then the speed of object is constant. This is also false because equal distance in equal interval of time, that is uniform motion, and unequal distance in equal interval of time is non-uniform motion. Here this is third type. So this is wrong. If an object covers equal distance in unequal interval of time, speed is constant. It is not constant. If it was constant, then equal distance covered in equal interval of time. So it is false. Third, the distance time graph of a stationary object is a straight line parallel to y-axis. This is also wrong, false, because the distance time graph of a stationary object is a straight line, but it is parallel to x-axis. So this line is wrong. It is false. 4. Higher the slope of line inclined to time axis in distance time graph, greater is the speed. This is true because higher the slope means it is taking less time. So it is greater the speed. 5. Sundial and water clocks were used to measure time in ancient period. This is true. 6. The time taken to complete 10 oscillations by a simple pendulum is called its time period. No, this is wrong because the time taken to complete one oscillation by the simple pendulum is called its time period. Time period means time taken to complete one oscillation. So this line is also false. Odometer, 7th, odometer measures the distance travelled by a vehicle. Yes, this is true. Odometer measures the distance travelled by that vehicle. It is true. Total distance travelled by the vehicle. 8. The distance time graph of an object in non-uniform motion is a straight line inclined to time axis. This is wrong because the distance time graph of object in non-uniform motion is a curved line. And if it is a straight line inclined to time axis, then this is called uniform motion. So this line is also wrong. It is false. Now come to key terms. Speed. What is speed? We all know speed is equal to distance by time. Distance travelled by time taken. So speed is the distance covered by an object per unit time. Okay. Average speed. Average speed means total distance travelled divided by total time taken. So the average speed is called ratio of total distance travelled to the total time taken. Ratio means you have to divide distance to time. Uniform motion. when the distance traveled is equal in equal interval of time. Means equal distance traveled in equal interval of time, that motion is called uniform motion, and just opposite is non-uniform motion. When distance traveled is unequal in equal interval of time. In both cases, time is equal intervals of time, but in uniform it is equal distance, covering equal distance, but in non-uniform motion it is covering unequal distance. Just in a crowded route, we travel non-uniform motion. Speedometer, a device for measuring speed in vehicle. The device which measures the speed of that vehicle at that time. Odometer, total distance covered by that vehicle is called odometer, a device for measuring distance traveled by the vehicle. Time period, time taken to complete one oscillation in a simple pendulum. Time to complete one oscillation is called time period. Amplitude, the maximum displacement of the bob from the mean position. When we hang a bob with a thread, this is called mean position. And when we just took the bob and displace for some distance and just leave it, and ball or bob becomes oscillating. So that point is called extreme position. Hanging, mean position, and displacement is extreme position. And the angle between mean position and extreme position is called amplitude. So amplitude is the maximum displacement of the bob from the mean position. Hope you understood. Now come to recall. The motion of an object is slow or fast depending on its speed. Obviously, if speed is much higher, we call them this vehicle is moving faster. Speed is slow means it is taking more time. So motion of an object is slow or fast depends on its speed. Fast objects cover large distance in a small time. Fast objects covers large distance in small time intervals and vice versa. Vice versa means just opposite is the same thing. Means slow object covers less distance in maximum time intervals. Third, speed is equal to distance by time. From beginning to last, we are studying speed, motion, and speed is equal to, we know, distance by time. In short, unit of speed, all are unit of speed. Meter per second, kilometer per hour, meter per minute, or centimeter per second. All are units of speed. 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 5 by 18 meter per second. How? You know, 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. And 1 hour is equal to 60 into 60 second. So, putting the value of meter and second, 1 kilometer means 1000 meter divided by 1 hour means 60 into 60 means 3600. 1000 divided by 3600. When we calculate this, we find 5 by 18. And this is 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 5 by 18 meter per second. Okay. Speed in uniform motion is constant while it changes in non-uniform motion. Speed is uniform means it is constant. Non-uniform means it is not constant. It is changing every time. Both the cases equal interval of time, but distance is constant in uniform and not constant in non-uniform. Speedometer tells the instantaneous speed of the vehicle. It means speedometer tells the instant speed of the vehicle. मतलब the speed at that time, उस समय वो उसका speed क्या था. That tells us speedometer. And odometer tells us the total distance covered by that vehicle. Now, distance time graph of a stationary object. Remember, straight line parallel to time axis. Distance time graph of a uniform motion is a straight line inclined to time axis. And distance time graph of a non-uniform motion is always a curved line. Any type of curve, it is non-uniform. Next is, higher the inclination of a straight line for uniform motion, higher is the speed and vice versa. Higher the straight line means slope is higher, means speed is higher, means it took less time. And same, vice versa means same in non-uniform or any other motion. Sundial, water clock, sand clock were some of the instruments to measure time in the olden times. Yes, this is true. Pendulum clock. Nowadays, pendulum clocks, wristwatch, stopwatch, electronic watches are used to measure time accurately these days. Nowadays, we use pendulum clock, wristwatch, stopwatch, electronic watches, and ancient time, sundial, just like Jantar Mantar in Delhi or Jaipur, water clock, sand clock, were some of the instruments measured in olden times. Okay. Now, thank you so much for watching my all videos. That's all.